Welcome to today's story, one of the most famous and foundational stories in the entire Bible, Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. This is a story about beginnings, about choices, about freedom, trust, and responsibility. And even if you've never heard it before, don't worry. Today we'll walk through it step by step in a simple and engaging way, looking not only at what happened, but also at the lessons it teaches about life, relationships, and the human heart. So let's return to the very first pages of Genesis, to a garden unlike anything the world has ever known. According to the Bible, after God created the heavens, the earth, the seas, and every living creature, he formed the first human, Adam. God placed Adam in a beautiful paradise called the Garden of Eden. Imagine a place full of life, sparkling rivers, lush trees heavy with colorful fruits, animals of every kind, and a peace beyond anything we can imagine. In Eden, Adam had a special purpose. God asked him to take care of the garden, to nurture it, enjoy it, and live in harmony with everything God had created. But God noticed something important. Adam was alone, so God caused Adam to fall into a deep sleep. And from Adam's side, God created Eve, the first woman. She wasn't created as a servant, not as a shadow, but as a partner, an equal, someone to walk beside him. Adam and Eve lived in harmony with each other, with nature, and with God. Everything had been given to them. Everything was good, and they only had one rule. At the center of the garden stood two special trees. One was called the Tree of Life. The other was the Tree of the Knowledge of Good and Evil. God told them, "You may eat from any tree in this garden, except this one. Do not eat the fruit from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. If you do, you will surely die." This command sounded simple, but its meaning was deep. God wasn't setting a trap. He was giving them freedom. Freedom to choose trust, obedience, and relationship with Him. And this is where the story begins to change. One day, Eve was walking near the tree when a serpent approached her. The serpent was cunning, smooth-talking, and full of deceit. It asked, "Did God really say you can't eat from any tree in this garden?" Eve answered correctly. They could eat from any tree except one. But the serpent kept pushing. "You won't die," it whispered. "If you eat it, your eyes will be opened. You will become like God, knowing good and evil." Eve looked at the fruit. It looked beautiful. It seemed harmless. It looked tempting. This is the moment at the heart of the story. A moment of temptation, not force, not threat, but something that simply looked appealing. Eve took the fruit. She ate it. Then she gave some to Adam. And Adam ate it too. In an instant, everything changed. They suddenly felt naked and ashamed. For the first time, they became aware of themselves and tried to cover their bodies with fig leaves. Something inside them had shifted. The innocence they once had was gone. Then they heard God walking in the garden. But instead of running to greet him, they hid. God called out, "Where are you?" Not because he didn't know, but because he wanted them to come forward, to speak, to be honest. Adam said he hid because he was afraid. Fear, something new in a world that had been perfect. When God asked if they had eaten the forbidden fruit, Adam blamed Eve, and Eve blamed the serpent. But the truth was simple. They had chosen not to obey. What happened next was not blind anger, nor was it revenge. It was the consequence of a broken relationship, like a mirror shattered that could not instantly be made whole again. God explained the results of their choice. For the serpent, it would crawl on its belly and one day be defeated. For Eve, childbirth would be painful, and her relationship with Adam would face challenges. For Adam, the ground would be difficult to cultivate, and life would be filled with hard work. And for both of them, they could no longer stay in Eden. This may sound harsh, but the meaning is deeply symbolic. The garden represented a perfect relationship with God, a place untouched by sin or mistrust. When that trust was broken, Eden was no longer their home. So God sent them out to begin a new life. Yet even then, God remained compassionate. Before they left, God made garments of animal skin for them, stronger and more fitting than fig leaves. A small act, but full of meaning. Even in judgment, God still cared. And the story doesn't end in despair, but in hope. God promised that one day someone would come, someone who would defeat evil and restore what had been lost. The story of Adam and Eve is not just about a garden or a piece of fruit. It's a story about freedom, choices, trust, and the consequences of turning away from what is good. It reminds us that our actions have impact, that relationships, especially with God and with one another, are built on trust, and that even when we fail, there is always hope, mercy, and the chance to begin again.